Heartwarming twist. Waitress's daughter exposed as CEO's hidden inspiration. $950 million deal canceled. In the heart of a sleepy Midwestern town, the aroma of fresh coffee and sizzling bacon filled the air of Rosie's Diner, where Mary, a dedicated single mother, tirelessly balanced work and family. Her weary hands moved with grace, serving breakfast to the regulars, all while her heart swelled with love for her 12-year-old daughter Emma. Each story Mary spun for Emma held seeds of perseverance and hope, whispering to her that hard work could conquer anything. They were more than just tales, they were the foundation of Emma's vibrant imagination. As the clatter of dishes faded into the background, a familiar face emerged from the crowd, the troubled Jake, a CEO trapped in the gilded cage of corporate ambition. Morning after morning, he sipped his coffee slowly, lost in thoughts of a $950 million business deal looming over him. Little did he know that on this particular morning, fate had a twist in store. "Mom, look what I made!" Emma's voice rang out, cutting through the diner's chatter. With a beaming smile, she revealed a crumpled drawing of an invention designed to help people share their ideas. The innocence and brilliance in her eyes sparked something within Jake, igniting a flicker of joy he hadn't felt in ages. He found himself laughing, genuinely laughing, as Emma animatedly explained her vision of a world where imagination thrived. Moments passed, and their light-hearted exchange turned into a ritual that would draw him back to the diner more than he ever expected. With each conversation, Emma opened Jake's eyes, helping him see beyond the walls of corporate greed. Her creative lens changed him, challenging his perspective on success and ambition. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But then came the storm. One fateful evening, Jake's childhood friend, envy dripping from his every word, exposed Emma's identity as the unrecognized muse behind his vision. The media erupted like a volcano, transforming their quiet town into a whirlwind of gossip and judgment. Mary clenched her fists as she witnessed the scrutiny, feeling the weight of an entire community questioning the very essence of their struggles. Support and disdain intertwined, unveiling deep-seated class prejudice that made her heart break. Mary fought against the tides of isolation, her spirit unyielding. She reminded Jake and everyone else what the American dream truly entailed: hard work, resilience, and family values. Jake felt the battle within him, torn between protecting the sweet bond he had formed with Emma and sealing the lucrative deal that could elevate them all. As whispers flooded the diner, Mary's unwavering determination galvanized the townsfolk surrounding them. They rallied, sharing stories of hardship and triumph over greasy plates of pancakes and coffee. Just as a glimmer of hope shined through the storm, Jake stood at the precipice of a monumental decision that could upend everything. Would he choose to protect Mary and Emma from the whirlwind of fame, or embrace a future cloaked in riches but devoid of integrity? As he prepared for a public statement that could either uplift this family or send them crashing down, the small town held its breath. Would love and community triumph over the harsh realities of ambition? The sun peeked over the horizon, casting a golden hue over the diner. Inside, Mary wiped down the counter, her heart heavy but her resolve stronger than ever. Each movement was a reminder of the battle unfolding beyond the diner's walls. The relentless buzz of morning chatter failed to lift the weight pressing down on her chest. Emma sat at a corner table, sketching fervently, the bright colors of her imagination spilling onto the page. Mary paused to watch her daughter, the way her brow furrowed in concentration, the moments of joy flickering across her face. Emma didn't know the storm brewing outside, a world eager to judge and dissect her lives. It wasn't fair to keep Emma in the dark, yet Mary feared that the truth might shatter her innocence. "Mom, look!" Emma exclaimed, turning the page towards her. Mary forced a smile, but her heart ached, knowing their world was changing so drastically. "Wow, that's amazing, sweetheart," Mary replied, trying to inject warmth into her words. "What's this invention do?" "It helps people share ideas without fear." Emma's eyes sparkled, a beacon of hope. "Imagine a world where everyone can be heard." Mary's heart swelled with pride, but it also felt heavy with the burden of reality. It was a beautiful vision, yet fear gnawed at her. Would the world embrace Emma's dreams, or would they crush her spirit under harsh scrutiny? Meanwhile, Jake sat in his sleek office, staring blankly at the wall of accolades and awards that felt like a prison now. The deal that once excited him now felt like an anchor. His thoughts returned to Emma's laughter and the way she had opened his heart to possibilities he had long ignored. The images from the media haunted him, articles with headlines that twisted truths and placed unfair blame on an innocent child. He was the CEO. He had the power to make choices, yet now he felt helpless. "What do I do?" he murmured to himself, his voice weak against the weight of the world outside. Just then, his phone buzzed, breaking the silence. It was a notification that made his blood run cold. A call for a press conference to address the scandal. Could he continued to prioritize wealth over the relationships he had nurtured? Striding forth into the empty streets, he felt a stirring within him. The wind carried the whispers of the townsfolk, their hushed conversations mingling with a yearning for change. He needed to take a stand, not just for Emma and Mary, but for himself. Jake imagined walking that stage, proclaiming the importance of family, hope, and dreams over wealth and ambition. As the hour of the press conference approached, he felt a flutter of anxiety, his heart pounding relentlessly. Should he speak his truth or continue with business as usual? There was a tipping point looming on the horizon. Across town, fresh pancakes sizzled on the griddle as Mary gathered the courage to face Emma. Her daughter's innocence was a shield against the world's harshness, and Mary wanted to protect it fiercely. Yet it was a battle not just against the storm, but against their own fears. The sweet, aromatic coffee touched her lips, invigorating her. "Emma," she called, a plan forming in her mind. "There's something important we need to talk about." The diner buzzed with life, the scent of freshly baked bread enveloping them, while outside, the community waited on a precipice of uncertainty. As they spoke, Mary realized that perhaps she couldn't shield Emma from everything. It was time to empower her daughter to stand strong in the face of adversity. The moment of truth was drawing near, and choices hung in the air like a heavy fog. What would Jake say in front of the cameras? And how would Mary prepare Emma for a world eager to dissect their story? The diner held its breath, waiting for the sparks of life beyond the glass doors, where dreams clashed with reality and the consequences of love and ambition hung in the balance. The bell above the diner door jingled as a familiar figure stepped inside, pulling Mary from her thoughts. It was Sam, her longtime customer and local mechanic, a warm-hearted giant who always seemed to know when someone needed a smile. "Mornin', Mary. Got anything fresh today?" he asked, his voice booming and cheerful. "Just the usual, Sam, but the pancakes are extra fluffy today," Mary replied, forcing a smile, grateful for the distraction. As he settled in at the counter, she could feel the tension in the air shift slightly. Maybe it was just the comfort of routine, or Sam's buoyant presence, but for a moment, the weight lifted. "What's got you looking like you've been through a storm, huh?" he pressed, noticing her distracted expression. Mary hesitated, unable to voice her fears. Instead, she pointed toward Emma, still immersed in her drawing. "It's just, things have been tough lately. For Emma, too," she finally confessed. Sam followed her gaze and smiled. "She's talented. That girl's going to change the world one day. You watch." His words wrapped around Mary like a warm blanket, easing some of her worries. Deep down, she knew Sam was right. Emma did have a light about her, a spark that ignited hope in everyone who encountered her. But the reality of the pressures outside was hard to ignore. She wanted her daughter to pursue her dreams without stumbling into the dark corners of criticism waiting to tear them down. As Sam ordered, Mary felt a sudden urgency to speak to Emma. She walked over to her daughter's table, heart racing. "Honey, can we talk for a minute?" she said gently, kneeling beside her chair. "Sure, Mom. I'm just putting the finishing touches on my project," Emma replied, brushing a streak of charcoal from her cheek. Mary took a deep breath, ready to share the news that would inevitably change everything. "Well, there's something you should know about the stuff happening outside. It's serious." She searched her daughter's eyes for understanding, desperation mixing with the hope in her heart. Emma looked up at her, and for a moment, the innocence in her eyes was almost too much for Mary to bear. "Is it about Dad?" Emma asked, tilting her head slightly, as if the answer were somehow written in the air between them. "Not just him," Mary said, biting her lip. "It's about the choices people are making and how they affect us. But we're a team, Emma. No matter what happens, we face it together." Emma frowned slightly, and in that moment, Mary could see the wheels turning in her daughter's mind. "You mean like superheroes?" Mary chuckled softly. "Something like that. Just remember, it's okay to be scared, but we need to be brave too. Can you do that for me?" "Like you always do, Mom. I can be brave," Emma declared, her voice bubbling with newfound determination. The words were small, but they wrapped around Mary's heart. "I'm stronger than I think." As they returned to their old routines, the diner's hum filled the air. But just as Mary thought they could settle back into normalcy, the television in the corner blared to life, broadcasting breaking news about the upcoming press conference. Jake's face appeared on the screen, tense and serious, and Mary felt her heart sink. "Today, we're prepared to address the scandal surrounding our firm." His voice faltered, and the weight of his choices hung heavy in the air. Mary held her breath, sure that the moment he revealed the truth could either shatter or heal their fragile world. Sam turned toward the screen, frowning as he caught wind of the headline. "This ain't good. They're fixin' to pass judgment without hearing the whole story." Mary's pulse pounded in her ears. She knew that moment was not just about Jake anymore. It was about Emma and the future they were building together. "Mom, can we watch?" Emma asked, her eyes wide open, sensing the anticipation surrounding the room. Mary nodded, a torrent of emotions inside her swirling like a storm waiting to break. "Yes, but let's stay close," she urged, holding Emma's small hands. As the news anchor began detailing the events leading to the press conference, Mary felt the tension thicken in the air. This was the moment everyone had been waiting for. And as Jake prepared to step into the spotlight, the clock was ticking. What he would say next could change everything for them. But would it be the change they had been hoping for, or something darker yet to come? The room fell silent as the camera zoomed in on Jake, the weight of expectation palpable. He looked straight into the lens, a mixture of apprehension and resolve written on his face. Mary's heart raced. Every beat felt like a countdown. Emma squeezed her hand tight, oblivious to the tension, but aware that something important was happening. "Good afternoon," Jake began, his voice steady but low. "I stand before you today not just as a CEO, but as a parent, a partner, and a human being." The first few words seemed to float in the air, drawing listeners closer. "This week has been incredibly difficult for my family and me." Mary leaned forward, her breath hitching in her throat. He continued, "I realize that my choices have put a strain on those I love, especially my daughter." The light flickered in the diner. Some customers turned to whisper, and she could hear the buzz growing. "Over the years, I've made decisions that were meant to be pragmatic, but it's become clear they were driven by ambition rather than integrity." He paused, as if gathering his thoughts. "I want to take this moment to apologize to my family and all of you who've supported us." Emma's little face scrunched in confusion. "Mom, what does he mean?" she whispered, tugging lightly on Mary's arm. "Just listen, sweetheart," Mary replied. Uncertain of how to explain the unfamiliar complexities of grown-up problems, Jake cleared his throat. "Today, I'm announcing that I will step down from my position as CEO." Murmurs rose in the diner. People blinked, surprise etched on their faces. "I can't move forward while knowing my choices have brought so much pain." Mary felt her heart drop. This was not what she expected. The upheaval in the diner mirrored her own internal chaos. All the sacrifices for business, for fame, for wealth, it seemed to unravel right in front of them. The camera caught Jake's upper lip trembling, and a hint of regret seeped through. "I will also be canceling a $950 million deal that was set to change our firm's trajectory," he added, his voice steadying. "I can no longer be part of an industry that sacrifices ethics for profit." Gasps echoed through the diner. Sam shook his head, his expression somewhere between disbelief and admiration. Mary remained still, grappling with the implications. What did this mean for them? For Emma? As the screen shifted to show the crowded street outside the offices, the image of people waiting to hear the news revealed a stark contrast to the calm of the diner.
It was a world of chaos and uncertainty, a world they were still part of despite the shield of comfort Mary had created. Jake's voice returned. "My daughter Emma has reminded me what it means to be brave and to stay true to who we are. I may have lost my way, but I am determined to find it again, for her," he said, glancing off-screen before turning back to the camera. Mary's heart swelled. The mention of Emma lit a tiny fire of hope within her. Could this finally be a turning point for their family? Could Jake's decision pave the way for healing? "I believe we can rebuild a life based on love and honesty," Jake concluded, his shoulders relaxing just a fraction. "It's time for me to reflect and to learn." The screen flickered back to the news anchor, who looked as stunned as everyone else. The diner was alive with chatter now. People were processing the news, emotions spilling over like coffee from a full cup. "Wow, that was something," Sam exclaimed, glancing between Mary and Emma. "Guess he decided to turn the tide." Emma's eyes sparkled with a mix of confusion and curiosity. "Mom, is Dad really going to change?" she asked, hope teetering in her voice. Mary swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the moment. "People can surprise us, honey, sometimes in the best ways," she said gently, trying to put her own jumbled feelings into words. But as she looked at the television, anxiety crept back in. Change could be sudden, unyielding, and unpredictable. Would Jake's decision bring them together, or was it just the calm before another storm? The room was a blend of chatter, questions, and anticipation. Everyone was waiting to see what came next. And as Mary wrapped her arm around her daughter, she couldn't shake the nagging feeling that while one chapter was ending, another, possibly even more complicated, was just beginning. Would they be ready for whatever awaited them just around the corner? The air grew thick with anticipation, and Mary could feel every heartbeat reverberate through her chest as she tried to process what she had just heard. Emma leaned closer, her innocent face searching Mary's for answers that the grown-ups still struggled to grasp. "What happens now, Mom?" Emma asked. Her voice was soft, yet edged with a palpable urgency. Mary squeezed her daughter's shoulder, a quiet promise to hold on to hope despite the uncertainty looming ahead. "I don't know, sweetheart, but it feels like something big is changing," she whispered, her voice breaking just a little. The diner hummed with chatter. Some people were murmuring support for Jake's bold decision, while others voiced skepticism. "Can he really change?" someone questioned nearby. Mary wished she had a clear answer. Jake's announcement hung in the air like a thick fog. He had been the kind of man who thrived on wealth and power, climbing the corporate ladder with relentless ambition. To see him step down, to throw away a monumental deal, felt surreal, like watching a mighty tree fall in slow motion. It raised so many questions. How could they live without that income? Was there a safety net for their little family past the glimmer of high-stakes success? Sometimes the sacrifices they made for ambition felt insurmountable. Sam leaned over the table, eyes wide with intrigue. "You think he'll keep to his word?" he asked, taking a sip of his coffee, the steam weaving patterns that floated away into the charged air. "I hope so," Mary replied, holding her breath. Emma's tiny fingers traced the rim of her glass, lost in thought. "Maybe he'll come home now, Mom. Really come home." The image broke Mary's heart. She longed for the days when they were a whole family, a simple family, without the complications of corporate life tearing at their seams. Would there really be a chance for that again? Suddenly, the television switched over to a live update from the street outside. The crowds were growing, reporters clamoring for interviews with bystanders. The world felt charged with energy, and Mary could almost sense the hesitation coursing through the hearts of those people. Some believed in the promise of change, while others watched warily, clinging to their doubts. She noticed a woman on screen, extensions of hope and anxiety etched onto her face. "It feels like a reckoning," she said to the microphone, her voice clear despite the obscured background noise. "We all want to believe he can start fresh. The world needs leaders who value integrity." Mary felt that sentiment resonate deep within. The struggle between past mistakes and new beginnings weighed heavily on her heart. The chatter in the diner thickened again, and Sam leaned back, shaking his head. "It's incredible that he's willing to risk so much," he said. "Not everyone would do that. Kinda makes you rethink the whole success game, doesn't it?" Mary sighed. Yes, it did. Success shouldn't just be about how high you climb, but also about what you leave behind in the dust. She looked at Emma, whose wide eyes reflected innocence and belief. "I just want my dad to be, well, my dad," Emma whispered, fidgeting with the napkin in front of her. And in that moment, Mary felt a rush of decision tighten around her heart. For Emma's sake, she couldn't let their lives fall apart. They would stand by Jake, see where this journey led, maybe even help him find the right path back to them. As the television anchor continued discussing the implications of Jake's bold move, Mary suddenly felt that a spark was igniting somewhere deep within her, a pattern to be unraveled, emotions to be explored. "Come on, let's go home," she finally said, gathering her things. "I think we might have some things to talk through as a family." Emma jumped up, her spirit ignited with a curiosity for the unknown, a light flickering in her eyes that hinted at dreams yet to be realized. But just as they turned to go, Mary caught a glimpse of the screen again, the words scrolling by. Jake Murphy, family man or corporate martyr? What would that mean for them? Could they ever escape the shadows of what had been? The uncertainty weighed heavily as they stepped outside, leaving the comfort of the diner behind, ready to face whatever came next. Would Jake's gamble come with a cost they weren't prepared to pay? The wind whipped around them as Mary and Emma stepped outside, a sharp contrast to the warm atmosphere of the diner they had just left behind. The gust seemed to carry the weight of the world, heavy with expectations, fears, and promises yet unfulfilled. Mary pulled Emma closer, feeling the soft texture of her daughter's jacket against her own arm. "What if it doesn't work out, Mom?" Emma's voice quivered, small against the backdrop of murmurs and commotion from the crowd gathered by the diner. "Then we will find a way, like we always do," Mary replied, though even she felt a tremor of doubt. She scanned the street, where life had slowed to accommodate the momentous news. The reporters had gathered, eager to catch anyone's reaction about Jake's announcement. Their voices mingled with the bustling city noise, a chaos that mirrored her heart. As they walked, Emma looked up, with those hopeful eyes that Mary's heart ached. "But he can change, right? He wants to." Mary stopped for a brief second, kneeling down to look Emma in the eye. "Yes, he does. But change is hard. It takes work and love, and sometimes it comes with mistakes along the way. Like you and Dad?" Emma's innocence provided a gut punch. Mary felt a lump in her throat, recalling the undeniable strain in their relationship. She nods, unable to find the words to explain the complexities of adulthood and the choices that led them to this juncture. The ride home felt surreal.
The streets were familiar, yet distant with the weight of uncertainty. The radio DJ, excited and electric, spoke about the unfolding events. "This is a transformative moment, a chance for renewal," his voice echoed. But to Mary, it sounded like a feeble attempt at encouragement in a world that didn't pause for sentiments. Once home, warmth enveloped them, but it felt like a facade of comfort. Emma hurried to her room, eager to dive into a world of dolls and stories, a world far removed from the tangled web of adult decisions. Mary, on the other hand, lingered by the threshold, the silence gathering around her like a thick fog. As she stood there, she was struck by a sudden realization. Was it truly enough to support Jake from a distance? Did they really share the same vision of the future? Her heart burned with confusion. She couldn't ignore the flicker of unease and longing. They needed to talk, to confront the shadows that had crept between them, to stitch the frayed seams of
Their lives back together. With a deep breath, she moved to Emma's doorway. "Can I come in?" she asked softly. "Yeah, Mom, come see," Emma chirped, her eyes lighting up as she clutched a doll in her small hands, oblivious to the turmoil swirling in Mary's heart. Mary entered, observing her daughter create a lively scene on the carpeted floor. Laughter danced in Emma's voice, a simple joy that tugged at Mary's heartstrings. But there was still a nagging question eating at her. What would they say when Jake returned? If he returned, as a new man, or a man with shadows that deepened their own. "Emma," she started, sitting down beside her, "what do you think will happen when Dad comes home?" Emma paused, her brows furrowed in concentration. "I think he'll hug us and tell us stories about how he's going to be better. He'll be like the hero in my book." Mary smiled softly, feeling hope swell amidst the anxiety rolling within. "What if we can help him be that hero?" Emma's eyes widened, fueled by excitement. "Can we? That would be amazing!" The spark ignited anew as Mary looked into her daughter's eyes, innocent belief unwavering. They would fight for this family, no matter the cost. They would clear the path ahead together. Suddenly the phone rang, an abrupt disruption to their moment. Mary hesitated, glancing at the screen. The caller ID read Jake. Her heart raced, and now she felt the familiar pulse of anticipation rise again. Would this call bring clarity, or would it challenge their resolve? Mary reached for it, her hands trembling, knowing that with every word exchanged, they were one step closer to rewriting their story. Would it lead to a brighter tomorrow, or reveal more of the darkness lurking within? Mary's breath caught in her throat as she swiped the screen. It was as if the whole world paused, the chatter around her faded, and the only thing she could hear was the pounding of her heart. She didn't know how to feel about Jake calling now. Was he nervous? Was this a sign of all the things they hoped for, or of all the fears they couldn't shake? "Hello?" she managed, her voice just above a whisper. "Mary." Jake's voice crackled through the line, laced with nervous energy. "I'm back in town." There was a heaviness behind the words, a weight they both understood. Her insides tightened. "You're back?" she echoed. Part of her felt a rush of relief, while another part ached with uncertainty. "When? Can you come home?" "Yeah, I need to talk. I've been doing some thinking, Mary." He paused, and she could visualize him on the other end, running a hand through his hair, a habit he always had when he was anxious. "About everything." Mary sat down, her heart racing. What did that mean? Did he want to apologize, or was he ready to lay down the law about their future? "Okay, tell me, what are you thinking?" "I've been to some therapy. I know I messed up. I know I've hurt you both. I need to show you that I'm serious about changing. I want you and Emma to trust me again." His voice cracked, betraying a vulnerability that Mary hadn't heard from him in ages. "Trust is hard, Jake," she said softly, fighting back the tears. She wanted to forgive him, so much. She wanted to believe in his potential for change, for all of them. "What does that look like? What do you expect from us?" "Can we meet?" he asked, desperation creeping into his voice. "I've rented a place nearby. I want to talk in person, face to face." Mary's mind raced. This could be a turning point. Was she ready to risk it all for what could be another broken promise? Every moment of doubt was swiftly followed by a wave of hope. Emma had been so enthusiastic, and she longed to share that hope with Jake too. "All right," she said finally, steeling herself. "Let's meet tomorrow. At the cafe on Oak Street?" The line went quiet for a moment before Jake responded, "That sounds perfect. 10 a.m.? Yeah, I'll be there." The call ended abruptly, and silence hugged her like a warm blanket. Mary sat there, drowned in the mix of emotions swirling inside her. The thought of reconciling with Jake both excited and terrified her. She glanced into Emma's room, where she could hear her daughter happily narrating a story to her dolls. How had they allowed themselves to get here, standing on the brink of hope again? Just then, Emma burst into the living room, her face alight. "Mom, can we do a tea party tonight?" Mary felt a swell of love for her daughter. "Absolutely, sweetheart. We can make it special, just like those princesses you love." As they began preparing for the imaginary feast, Mary found herself smiling, a genuine smile that felt like sunlight breaking through clouds. For now, this little moment of joy kept the dread at bay. But the reality loomed just around the corner. Tomorrow could change everything for them. As the hour passed, Mary noticed the shadows lengthening outside, signaling that tomorrow's conversation grew closer. Could they really create a new beginning together? Could they trust that they were ready for it? As she poured imaginary tea into Emma's tiny cups, the thought lingered. Did she have the strength to see them through this trial? She had to believe. The doorbell rang just then, sending her heart into a wild dance. Who could it be at this hour? Mary's heart raced again, not for tomorrow, but for the present. She glanced toward the door, the questions running like a current through her mind. Would this be the ally she needed, or something that might throw everything off course? Taking a deep breath, she felt the heaviness settle in her stomach as she moved toward the door, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Mary opened the door, holding her breath. Outside stood Mrs. Thompson, their next-door neighbor, clutching a warm plate of cookies, her smile radiant. "I thought I'd bring you a little something, dear," she chirped, her voice bubbling with cheer. The tension in Mary's chest eased slightly. "Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. That's so thoughtful of you." As Mrs. Thompson stepped inside, the aroma of fresh cookies filled the air. Mary smiled faintly as they headed to the kitchen, where Emma was busy setting up for the tea party. The daughters' laughter echoed in the sunny space, a sweet sound that had been Mary's solace during the rough days. "Oh, are we celebrating something special?" Mrs. Thompson asked, noticing Emma's makeshift party. "You could say that," Mary replied, trying to ignore the knots in her stomach. "Just a little girl's tea party. We love to make a big deal out of the small things." "That's beautiful. Those moments matter more than you think," she said, watching Emma pour the imaginary tea with exaggerated flair. "They shape our memories." Mary wondered if they were building something more than just memories. Were they constructing a bridge to a brighter future, or were they opening a door filled with shattered promises? The thought fluttered away as Emma handed Mrs. Thompson a tiny cup, beaming with pride. They shared a laugh, but Mary's thoughts drifted back to the upcoming meeting. Did she really have it in her to hear Jake's apology and really decide? Could she sift through the memories of hurt to unearth the possibility of love? "Earth to Mary," Mrs. Thompson waved a hand in front of her face. "You seem a million miles away." "Sorry," Mary shook her head, forcing a smile, "just lost in thought." "Well, don't forget to think about some of these cookies before they disappear." Mrs. Thompson laughed again, and the warmth of her presence wrapped around Mary like a comforting hug. As they shared stories, laughter, and cookies, Mary felt an unfamiliar lightness. It was fleeting but real. For just a moment, she didn't think about the past or the meeting ahead.
Her heart swelled watching Emma's joy, and as she listened to Mrs. Thompson, she realized that the strength to face tomorrow could come from these little moments of now. But as the evening wore on, the clock on the wall announced the inevitable approach of morning. The reality of her decision loomed closer, creeping back into her mind like shadows at sunset. Later, she tucked Emma into bed. "Will you be okay in the morning?" Emma asked sleepily, her big eyes pleading with innocence. Mary brushed a tear that threatened to fall. "Yes, sweetheart, I'll be just fine. We'll sort through everything together, okay? Promise?" Emma's voice was soft, filled with faith and trust. "Promise." Mary pressed a kiss to her forehead. Her own heart affirmed, but her resolve wavered. That night, Mary lay awake, the lingering weight of her thoughts making sleep elusive. She replayed memories
Of Jake, the good and the bad. His smile, the times they laughed, and the moments he broke their hearts. What if he truly had changed? What if his therapy worked? Could she dare to believe in second chances when she was still so bruised? As dawn crept in, illuminating the room with soft light, Mary felt a stirring of hope mixed with apprehension. How would she feel when she looked into Jake's eyes again? Would the love she once felt still spark a flame, or would the pain overshadow any chance of reconciliation? With her heart racing, she knew she had to face him. But she also realized something new. It wasn't just about what Jake would say. It was about what she wanted. What was she willing to fight for, and what was worth letting go? With these questions swirling in her mind, she finally fell asleep, unaware of what the morning would bring. Just as she drifted into dreams, her phone buzzed on the nightstand, aglow with a new message. The moment she saw who it was, her heart stopped. What could it possibly mean? Mary jolted awake, her heart racing. The soft glow of her phone beckoned her like a lighthouse in the fog. With trembling fingers, she grasped it, the warm screen lighting up her face. The message was from Jake. Just 3 simple words. "Can we talk?" A wave of conflicting emotions washed over her. Part of her wanted to dive right into the fray, to confront him and resolve all those tangled feelings. But another part was terrified. What if his words shattered any hope she had left? She stared at the message, the seconds ticking by like an hour. What did he want to say? Was he still that person who walked away, or had time truly changed him? As she wrestled with her thoughts, Emma stirred from her slumber, her tiny voice breaking the silence. "Mommy?" Mary turned to her, and the innocence in her daughter's eyes anchored her. "I'm right here, sweetheart. Just checking something." "Can we have pancakes for breakfast?" Emma asked, her voice almost a melody in the stillness. "Of course." Mary felt a surge of warmth. It was moments like this that reminded her of what truly mattered. The message from Jake still hung in the air, a heavy presence. She couldn't ignore it. The thought of facing him loomed like a storm cloud. But this was about more than just her feelings. It was about Emma, too. "Let's get you ready for pancakes, and then I'll deal with everything else," Mary whispered, a resolve forming in her chest. They made their way to the kitchen, where the smell of cookies lingered like a bittersweet reminder of yesterday's warmth. She set to work, mixing the batter and flipping pancakes while Emma recounted the stories of the tea party, her laughter filling the room with sunlight. Yet, part of Mary was still elsewhere, feeling like a ship adrift at sea. After breakfast, she gathered her thoughts. It was time to face the truth. The weight of Jake's message sat heavy in her mind. It was the moment she had been anticipating, yet dreading all at once. Later that morning, she dressed with care, choosing a simple but elegant outfit that made her feel confident. Standing in front of the mirror, she practiced her smile, knowing she'd need it to mask the fear bubbling beneath her surface. "Remember, Mommy, you can do anything!" Emma's voice echoed down the hallway, unintentionally reminding Mary of their earlier conversation about fighting for what mattered. With a deep breath, Mary agreed with Emma in spirit. She could do this. She owed it to both herself and Emma to find closure, whatever that looked like. The drive to the cafe felt surreal. Each mile pushed her deeper into nostalgia and apprehension. What would Jake say? Would they still recognize each other after all this time? Arriving, she parked and sat for a moment, gathering her strength. As she stepped inside, the familiar smells overwhelmed her. Coffee, baked goods, laughter. And there he was, sitting in their usual booth, a fleeting silhouette of the past. Jake looked up, their eyes meeting, and a jolt of recognition shot through her. Would that spark ignite warmth, or would it burn with past resentment? With every step she took toward him, it felt like walking a tightrope, dangerous and delicate. What would be waiting for her at the end? As she approached, he rose, a mix of anticipation and anxiety flickering across his face. "Mary," he began, and that single word echoed in her heart, making her question everything once more. But suddenly, a commotion erupted nearby, a crash followed by a gasp. Mary glanced over to see a man clutching his arm, panic spreading. Without thinking, she moved instinctively, her heart pounding. In that moment, she wasn't just an ex-wife or a mother, she was a protector. What now? A decision needed to be made, both for her and for Emma. Would she help find a resolution beyond the pain? Or would this unexpected chaos drive them even further apart? As she knelt beside the injured man, her own fears faded into the background. What had she gotten herself into? Mary knelt beside the injured man, her instincts kicking in, driving her to act. Rushed murmurs filled the cafe, a chaotic undercurrent to the coffee-scented air. The man grimaced, holding his arm tightly, as Jake leaned in, concern etched across his face. "Someone get some help," Jake called out, his voice urgent. Mary's world felt like it was spinning, but in that moment, her focus narrowed to the man needing assistance. "It's going to be okay. Can you tell me your name?" she asked gently, her heart racing. "Mike, I just slipped," he managed, pain evident in his voice. Mary glanced up at Jake, who stood ready, his previous anxiety replaced with determination. In that instant, the environment shifted. She saw the warmth in Jake's eyes, the way he instinctively stepped closer, ready to support. It reminded her of the man she once knew, the man who cared deeply, the father Emma still believed he could become. "Help is on the way," Jake assured Mike, his voice steady. "Just keep breathing." Mary recognized the strength in their combined resolve. Suddenly, the chaotic energy around them morphed into a kind of unity, what they once shared. The fear that had gripped her loosened in light of this shared purpose. As the cafe staff rushed to assist, Mary felt a spark of clarity amid the noise. She looked at Jake, who met her gaze with an understanding that bridged the gap of their tumultuous past. They had once thrived as a team, protecting their loved ones together. They could do that again. "Are you okay?" she whispered to Jake, a question heavier than any past hurt. "I am now," he replied, his expression revealing a depth that felt familiar. "I want to be better, for you and Emma." Mary nodded, knowing they were still traversing shaky ground. But as the crowd settled into quieter support, her fears began melting away like the morning haze. This crucial moment didn't just signify a chaotic morning, it offered a glimpse of potential, the chance to rebuild something meaningful. Moments later, the paramedics arrived. They swiftly took over, freeing Mary and Jake from their makeshift roles as rescuers. Outside, the sun poured light through the cafe windows, illuminating fresh hope. With the chaos subsiding, Mary stood amidst the aftermath, her decision to help opening doors she never thought possible. "Thank you," Mike said, as the medics wrapped a bandage around his arm. Mary smiled softly. "Just glad you're okay." She turned back to Jake, whose eyes were now fixed on her with intensity. Words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken potential. "Mary, I know I can't change everything in an instant, but if today taught us anything, it's that we can still care for each other, that we matter. You, Emma, and I." His voice trembled, laden with sincerity. "I want to fight for us."
Suddenly, the fear that tangled in Mary's chest unfurled. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. "I want that too, but it's going to take time, trust." "I'm ready to fight," Jake promised, his expression fierce yet hopeful. With each word spoken, she felt lighter, braver. They were standing on the cusp of something beautiful, a new beginning. For Emma, for their family, they could write a different story together. "Let's start with honesty then. Not just between us, but with Emma too," she said, her voice firm and optimistic. "She needs to know her dad is really trying." "Yes, I'll do everything I can to show her. I want to be the person she dreams I can be," Jake agreed, his face brightening with resolve. Just then, Emma appeared, her little feet padding across the cafe floor. "Mom, I felt like something was happening. Are you okay?" Mary knelt to embrace Emma, feeling a surge of warmth between them. "I'm okay, sweetheart. We both are," she smiled. "Can we have our tea party now?" Emma chirped brightly, her innocence igniting laughter amidst the remnants of the chaotic morning. Jake knelt down beside them, and for the first time in what felt like ages, their family felt whole again. "How about a pancake party instead, with syrup and whipped cream?" "Yes, that would be amazing!" Emma shouted, clapping her hands in excitement. Laughter echoed across the room, filling the void that once felt too cavernous to cross. Just like that, small moments began to stitch the fabric of their family back together, creating a tapestry that embodied resilience, love, and renewed hope. As they stepped outside, the sun beamed down, and Mary took a moment to breathe in the possibilities of tomorrow. They would face challenges ahead, no doubt, but together, hand in hand, one step forward. "Ready for our first family mission?" Mary grinned, looking at Jake and Emma. "Ready!" Emma shouted, her spirit alive and vibrant. Jake chuckled. "Let's do this. Together." From that moment on, every day was a brushstroke on the canvas of their lives. And as Mary walked beside Jake and Emma, she felt a flicker of hope ignite anew. Hope that one day they'd not just survive, but flourish together, turning their dreams into reality. Tomorrow was no longer just another day. It was another chance to make their stories extraordinary. And with the rhythm of their steps echoing beneath the wide open sky, Mary knew with certainty they would be all right. If you felt a connection to this story, don't wait. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive Tales of Resilience. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support the stories that touch your heart. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this powerful ending. And share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Real fans recognize the importance of supporting the channel through these actions. Don't miss out. If you felt a connection to this story, don't wait. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive Tales of Resilience. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and support the stories that touch your heart. Comment below with your reactions and feelings about this powerful ending. And share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Real fans recognize the importance of supporting the channel through these actions. Don't miss out.